Hey guys, it's Dion from DJ Fitness, and today I wanted to take you through the top 5 core exercises for every Tenpin bowler.
Uh. Yeah. Yeah.
So often when I talk about core, people think about the transverse abdominis, which is the six-pack muscles. And honestly, they are great to look at. I agree. Nothing better than a chiseled six-pack. But in regards to helping us actually stabilize ourselves and brace ourselves and help the rotation, then they're not as effective as some of the other muscle groups that are in that whole core region. So today what we're going to go through is 5 exercises that are going to help you brace better and also will help with that rotation or the anti-rotation so that you can keep yourself nice and stable at the foul line. All right, let's start off with the first exercise, which is a dead bug. And it is more working on breathing. Just get ready for a dead bug, and you're going to lay on your backs. Now, there's a couple of versions of your dead bug here. What we will do, we'll start off just with the legs. So we get those knees up into a 90-degree angle, and your feet then should be in 90 degrees as well. With your first dead bug, we're going to get those arms then up above your head. We're going to lower, extend one leg down to the ground, and then we're going to bring it back up into what you effectively known as that tabletop position. Now, with all of your core exercises, you want to do these slow. So you don't want to rush them. The more you rush them, the more that you're going to use momentum to help bring your body up, and the less you're actually going to get activation and benefit from your core. Now, if you're okay with this one, then we also add on the arm extension. So you want to breathe in as you extend, breathe out as you come back into the center. Should always be the opposite arm and the opposite leg that are going with your dead bug. The second exercise that we're going to do is a kneeling side plank. So the obliques, so the sides of your body, are often neglected, and they really help you stay nice and stable. So if we build up the obliques, we can stay nice and stable, we can really activate the core. So get set up for your kneeling side plank. So I'm doing this kneeling to start with because I really like there's a little bit more activation in your kneeling side plank rather from your regular side plank. So we're going to get set up. We're going to have your elbow directly underneath your shoulder. Your hip is going to be in line with that elbow, and then your knee also is going to be in line with that shoulder. Your top leg is going to stay nice and straight, and then we're just going to push those hips up off the ground. We're going to keep a nice straight alignment, so our head is going to feel like it's slightly back here because we need the head, the shoulders, and the hips, and that knee all to be in a nice straight line. You'll start to feel it underneath. If you want to add on here, let's get that top arm up so those shoulders are stacked one on top of the other. You want to hold here for around about 30 seconds. If you can get up to a minute, that would be great. Next exercise that we're going to do is a kneeling plank. This is the third of my top 5 core exercises. Now, you might think that we should do a plank, but I really like the activation, again, that you'll get from a kneeling plank. Always find if you go to the progression first, then you miss out some of the activation and you can actually get less benefit than if you really work and activate all the muscles you're meant to activate in the regression, or what we call the regression, before you then go and into the more advanced move, which would be on your toes. So set up for a kneeling plank. You want to get in with those forearms on the ground. Your shoulders are going to be stacked over the top of your elbows here. Your knees are going to be on the ground. So if you were to set up, you would lay on the floor, put those elbows on the ground, and then push up through that chest. I'm actually going to be very active with the lower part of my body here. So I'm going to really try and push my shins into the ground while I slightly dome out through those shoulders. Here, you're going to feel this switch on as I am now after about 10 seconds of this. So you're really pushing up, try to push your chest nice and high, Jamming out through those shoulder blades, and you're pushing those shins down as well. There's a lot going on. So as I said, a little bit more active and a little bit more activation than your plank from your toes would be. And you can see none of these exercises are any of those crunches. So your crunches, while they serve a purpose, don't really help you activate, and they don't really concentrate on your breathing and your bracing. And a lot of the time, we flop up and down really quickly. Doesn't really do us any benefit whatsoever. Really better to a lot of holding to start with. There's a holding, and your isometrics, what we call isometrics, which you hold, will help them to build up that anti-rotation. Next exercise we're going to do is a high plank position. We're going into a shoulder tap. So with this exercise, easy way to set up, again, stay flat on the ground. Just let those hands come underneath your shoulders. Push yourself all the way up. You can see here that my shoulders are stacked over my hands, and then I'm right up on those tippy toes. I'm keeping my core nice and tight here, and those hips are not sagging down, and they're not harbour bridging up in the air, as I like to call them, full of my local fellow Sydney-siders. For your shoulder taps, though, I'm going to go a little bit wider with the feet. So I'm going to get those feet set up outside of hip width apart. Here, we're going to squeeze. So squeeze nice and tight. And we're going to try and stop those hips from rotating from side to side. So you squeeze your quads, squeeze your glutes, and keep everything nice and tight. If you need to here, come down to your knees, and then get those shoulder taps going. And the last exercise that I've got, my top 5, is a Renegade Row. So with this one here, very, very similar to the high plank with the shoulder taps, but we're going to add in, if you have, a little bit of weight. So I'm going to grab some of my Y bells that are behind me here. Again, get set up in that high plank position. Those feet are going to come outside of your hips again. And with this one, we are rowing that elbow up to the sky. Now, to start with, you can alternate between the two. So again, I'm squeezing, I'm bracing through that core, trying to stop these hips from wiggling and going from side to side. Drive that elbow high, alternate to start with. If you're good with alternating, you keep those hips nice and still, then we're going to aim for 12 on one side before we then switch to 12 on the other. Well, guys, there you have it. There are my top 5 core exercises that I think every Tenpin bowler should do. These are going to help you really, really activate, strengthen those deep core muscles so that you can stay super stable at the line and can deliver the best shot every single time. I would love for you to give this video a like. Please share it to anyone that you think could benefit from this video. And as always, write a comment down below of how you get on with these exercises. And don't forget, while you're there, click that subscribe button. You don't want to miss one of the videos that is coming up. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.